I have to give a review. I'm not a person that used to give reviews, but on instant tax services and ATC, they are horrible. Do not go to them and allow them to do your taxes. I went to them 2 years ago. My husband and I, we went to them 2 years ago, and it is 2013, and we are still dealing with the ramifications behind the fact that they were unprofessional, they did not pay attention to details, and they did not do their job. And I tell you, this is the place. Make sure I don't show too much of my information. See that ATC Financial, and it's also called Instant Tax Credit Services. It's in Riverdale, Georgia, on Highway 85. Do not go to them and allow them to prepare your taxes. We went in 2010 to get the Christmas loan that they have advertised on a commercial. Everybody gets a check. Everybody gets a check, you know. And my husband and I, we went in with our last paycheck stubs. And I explained to the young lady, I do not have my W-2s. I had worked 2 jobs that year. Well, I do not have my W-2 for, either one of the jobs. And I do not have my last paycheck stub for one of my jobs. Oh, that's not a big deal. We can just do it off your husband's and the income that you have right now. Okay, fine. Well, we were not approved. We got a check for, everybody get a check. See that? $10. Okay, no big deal. We weren't approved. So come January of that year, they said for us to come back in because it was time to prepare our taxes. Okay, we had went to them previously the year before, so, we felt comfortable with going to them again. So we went in and I explained to the young lady, well, I have both of my W-2 forms. My husband also has his W-2 form now with the full amount that we've made for last year. Also, I noted to her the change in my last name, even though we had been married already for about 2 years, I hadn't had my name changed over to my married name. Well, I had at that time, and I showed her my new ID with my new my new married name on it, and my social security card with my new married name on it, and everything. Also told her that we had moved. So she said, okay, I'll get it. I'll take down all this information and da-da-da-da. Okay, fine. Well, when she was done tallying everything up, I kept looking at the bottom number of the income that we made, and I said to my husband, hey, that's not right. We made more money than that. And I said to the young lady, excuse me, ma'am, this isn't the right amount of income. Oh, yes, it is. I have everything. I said, you put both jobs in. Oh, yeah, I have both jobs. I put, both of the jobs you had. I put in all the information. Okay. All right, fine. Okay, I'm going to trust you. Even though something in my gut kept saying, don't trust this lady. Don't trust her. She had it right, and I should have went with my gut. But anyway, to make a long story short, we left out with our papers that had all our information on it, just for me to notice that on the taxes that she had filed for me, she still had my last name down wrong as my maiden name. She, and I was like, okay, you know what, my last name is not correct on here. It's just going to cause a problem because my social security card, my ID now shows my married name. Oh, no, but I can change it. I'll change it real quick. So supposedly. But anyway, let me try to make this long story short. So anyway, about maybe 4 or 5 days later, a week later, they call us, your checks are ready. We go pick them up, we go to the bank, and we realize, hold on, this isn't the right amount. So we call, oh, I forgot to give you guys both of your checks. So here we have to turn all the way back around and go back to the place that we went to and pick up the other check. Oh, I'm so sorry, I just overlooked it. Okay, no big deal. We'll go back to the bank, and the bank says, we can't cash these checks. And we're like, why not? Well, because the address on these checks are incorrect. What do you mean? Well, it's the right street address, but it's the wrong city. So we can, put a hold on them, and we can see if we can get them deposited after they've been approved after 7 to 14 business days. And we were like, oh no, so we were like, we're gonna have to go get this taken care of. So we are on our way back down to the tax place. I give them a call. The person that was on the phone was very, very nasty. This is at the corporate office, and I'm explaining to her what has taken place. Oh, well, we don't have anything to do with that. They cannot cut you another check, blase, blase, blase. You guys must have filled it out wrong. No, we didn't. And I had proof because of the little check that we got. It had the new address, and it had the correct information listed on it. So, I don't know what you're talking about. So we go back in. Oh, we're going to take care of this. It's going to take 3 to 4, days or whatever. I'm sorry, 2 to 3 days. And your check will be ready with the correct address, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Mama, stop, BJ. Okay, so anyway, we go back, supposedly, 2 days later, and it's still not there. 3 days later, it's still not there. We're trying to purchase a vehicle. We're like, oh, God, we're going to miss out on this. So finally, 5 days later, and they have the checks ready. Well, we go pick up the check, and we look at it, and lo and behold, guess what? It has the same doggone wrong city on it. So we're like, ma'am, they will not cash this. So she got the supervisor, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to see what we can do. We're going to get somebody to cash these for you. I know you guys need your money. So he calls to the liquor store around the corner and decides, okay, they said they'll cash it for you. But I'm like, hold on. We were going to deposit this in our bank account. We weren't going to have to pay anything for these checks to be deposited. But now we have to go to a liquor store and actually pay a fee. Oh, instant tax credit. We're going to give you $50. We're going to give you guys a $50 check or whatever. And, you know, okay, well, fine. You know, at this point, we really need the money. We go to the liquor store. He cashes it. Well, the total comes up to $120 for cashing our income tax check. Well, you only gave us $50, so that means that $70 came out of our pocket. Okay, you know what? We need the money. We're just going to let it go. And you would think that that would be the end of the story. No, it's not. It gets worse. So about a week later, after we've cashed our checks and, you know, done what we had to do, we get a call from Instant Tax Services saying, oh, well, you know what, Miss, I'm not saying my last name, but anyway, you know what, you need to come back in because we have another check. You have another check? Are you serious? Well, you know what, you just need to come back in. You may have another check. Well, I'm not going to go up there if it's not for sure. I'll send my husband. So my husband went in, and then he came back home. He said, babe, you're not going to believe this. I said, what's going on? They're saying that they had to do an amendment because they didn't have all of our income, and we end up getting back too much money, and so we owed them $700 and something dollars. And I'm like, you are kidding me. So of course, immediately I get on the phone and I call corporate, and I'm like, you know, this is unacceptable. This was not our mistake. This was not our fault. Blase, blase, blase. Oh, we're gonna get down to the bottom of this. They didn't get down to the bottom of it. I call myself, call them back again. I spoke to someone. Oh, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you. We're going to make sure we do what we're supposed to do. And call me back in 2 days, and I'll make sure I have your file pulled up and everything. Well, I call back 2 days later just to be told that the person that I spoke to was gone for the year. That she only comes in seasonal, and since the tax year was over with, she was no longer there. And that basically there was nothing I could do. So here I am stuck owing $700+ for something that was not my fault. So we did try to contact the IRS. I actually tried to contact the lawyer. They said pretty much when it comes to things like that, there's nothing that they can really do. The money that, you know, you kind of do at your own risk, which of course just pisses me off even worse. So I did contact the IRS, and they said that it had not been brought to their attention yet, that, you know, you have to sometimes give it time to get into the system, and, you know, that she would look it up and get back in contact with me. Well, 2012 came in, still nothing. Here it is, 2013. And guess what, everybody? We are now getting a notice that our taxes are being held because of the fact that we owe back pay. So, we will get our refund, but there will be a delay on it. So it's like, we are still dealing with the mess from Instant Tax Credit, Instant Tax Services, ATC. And then they have the nerve to actually call and ask us to do our taxes again. I'm like, do you all realize who you're even calling? You screwed us over severely. So I would tell anybody, do not go to ATC, Instant Tax Services. Do not go to them. Do not give them your money. Do not allow them to file your taxes. I would have just said that it was only exclusively the office on Highway 85 in Riverdale, but I can't say that. I cannot say that because I did call corporate and I did speak to someone and they did promise to get back with me, and no one has. So I would tell anybody, corporate is crooked. They don't care about, you know what I'm saying, they don't care about their customers as well as this place. Do not take your taxes to them. Make sure whoever you file your taxes with, they know exactly what they're doing, and make sure that you double check behind them to make sure that they do everything correctly, because you do not want this to come back 2, 3 years, maybe 4 years later, biting you in the butt like it has done my husband.